Hey guys, and welcome to my new long-form video. Today we will talk about an Airbus plane and why it has a secret wheel. Let's get started. Ever wondered what happens if a pilot pulls up too hard during takeoff? In aviation, this is called a tail strike, basically slamming the back of the plane into the runway. It destroys the fuselage and costs millions to fix. To stop this from happening, engineers came up with a pretty wild solution, a tiny, hidden wheel under the tail called a tail skid. A perfect example of this is the Airbus A340. The stretched versions, like the A340 to 600, are ridiculously long. When this thing rotates for takeoff, the clearance between the tail and the ground is almost zero because of how long the fuselage is. So on older models, Airbus literally installed a mechanical bumper wheel at the back to absorb the impact and protect the plane's skin if the pilot messes up. So, why don't modern planes like the Airbus A350 have a wheel? Even though the A350 is huge and long, it doesn't need a heavy mechanical bumper because of modern tech. Instead, it uses a digital protection system in its fly-by-wire computer. Sensors constantly check how close the tail is to the ground. If a tail strike is about to happen, the computer automatically overrides the pilot and stops the nose from pitching up any further. It completely removes human error. But when exactly does a plane actually need this protection? There's no official rule for weight. It's all about the ratio between the plane's length and the height of its landing gear. The longer the fuselage is behind the main wheels, the bigger the danger. Which brings us to the king of the skies, the massive Airbus A380. Why does the biggest passenger plane in the world have zero tail strike wheels and no active computer block to stop the pilot? The answer is simple. The A380 is huge, but it's actually pretty short compared to its wingspan and height. On top of that, its main landing gear is so tall that the tail naturally has massive clearance from the ground. You'd have to point the A380 almost straight up into the sky to actually get a tail strike. So aviation has two choices. Either build a physical wheel like the old school A340, or let the computer handle it like the modern A350. Which plane is your favorite to fly in Roblox PTFS? Let me know in the comments, drop a like, and subscribe for more aviation secrets. Fly safe, and see ya in the next one.